turning to the non-hero side of the game. First of all, we have scenario cards. Please note here, each of the scenarios is also double-sided with an episode. The episodes are for the cinematic campaign. They are linked together, whereas the scenarios are standalone adventures. The location cards here, you can see, will make the map throughout the game. Things to be aware of primarily, if you need to find a specific location card, please note the name and also the card code, which is beneath the brightness difficulty table here on each card. I should have said, sorry, apologies, location cards obviously are not reversible. Okay, so now we're moving on to obstacle cards. Obstacle cards have this icon in the top left hand corner, and they will be either a trial or a trap as indicated here. Please be aware of the difference in the two, but note the icon here, and that is the reverse of an obstacle card. Loot cards are things that you will find throughout the game. There's not really much to say here other than be aware that they go into the adventure deck. So what I'll do now is I'll turn those over here for an adventure deck. Barrier cards have this barrier icon here. That's all you need to be aware of really. Again, they have their own distinct backing. So, barrier deck. And if you remember, this was the obstacle deck. Okay, moving on to discoveries. Discoveries can be either encounters, which you must deal with, or a curiosity, which you have the option to deal with. Discovery cards all form part of the adventure deck. I'm going to put them here. Obviously these would need to be shuffled, so I'm just placing them like this so you get the idea behind it. Moving down, we have foe cards. Please be aware that not all foe cards will have this run here. Only ranged foes, see, ranged, only ranged foes will have this on it. If it's a melee foe, it will not have this track. Foes become part of the adventure deck, hence the question marks. Booby traps. Booby traps are separate from the traps within the obstacle deck because these sit within the adventure deck. Okay, booby traps sit in the adventure deck. Question mark. Other things to show you. Events. Events have your standard event and the legendary effect, which you play in addition to the standard effect if you want to play a legendary difficulty level. Events are all to do with time, hence the back is the time icon. Finally, other things you'll receive in the deck. A number of reference cards. This one in particular would be the one you want to keep to hand at all times, as it explains the number of icons in the game. These seem like a lot of icons, but after a few plays you will very quickly start remembering the icons. We have a number of personas in each set. In the cave set, here are the 4 elders. They're used for the cinematic campaign, and each of these also reverses onto a gift. Finally, these are plot cards, which are used for various different adventures within the game. So what you'll see now, if this is your typical adventure, we've actually gone through and come up with the elements that will create a number of decks here. So we have the amount of time, this is your time deck, the number of locations, this is your locations here, and then within this deck here, if you remember, we have foes, discoveries, booby traps, and finally we would put in the loot, which I've already put in as well. Importantly, all of this has to be shuffled when you create it, and it is if there's one cardinal rule, make sure that you shuffle the adventure deck. Always, always, always shuffle the adventure deck. Thanks guys.